Well, it seems like just last week we were looking at this very same beautiful view of St. Paul and the same view of the state capitol building. And then we had a very sudden change of plans and we got to go visit with my best friend Alice. But tonight it is on with the adventure that was originally planned last week. And since we're right across the highway from it, I thought I'd give you a better look at our Minnesota State Capitol building. Right here in the heart of downtown St. Paul. And it is a very traditional style building for a state capitol with the big dome. And they used to have fireworks every year right on that front lawn. We'd sit and see the fireworks go up behind the dome there, and it was a great show. But they've since moved that to another location. Too bad, that was a fun time. And here we are once again back at the Minnesota History Center. This is an amazing, fascinating place, and I love it every time I come here, so I thought we'd come back for a little bit more for some material that we did not get the first time when we came here on this channel, Tommy Travels the Second. It is a beautiful day for an adventure, and so that's why we are here in the glorious St. Paul at this wonderful building. And so if you are brand new to this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on a thing. And come on with me, guys, let's go see what there is to see. So for those of you who don't remember this location from our last adventure, this is a look at the inside of this beautiful building. And my favorite thing is this replica Jenny plane of Charles Lindbergh. It was one of his very first planes, which crashed in a field. If you want to hear more about that story, check out my other video here at the Minnesota History Museum. There may be a link in the description below if I remember to put one in there. There's an entrance to one of the exhibits over here, but the end of the hallway we were just at, look at these windows. Goes all the way up there. And what a wonderful view of the state capitol building. Even better view than we had before, actually. Look at that. And if you want to get a really close look at it, you can check it out through some binoculars here. But I'm pretty good from this distance, I think. It is just a building after all, but it certainly is beautiful. In our adventure last time, we went to that side, the Then and Now exhibit, and that was really interesting. But this time we're going to go into the other side here, where they apparently have an open house. Well, that should be interesting. Let's check it out, shall we? And so what we are looking at here is one ordinary house. It's an open house exhibit. And what it says, what stories lie inside one ordinary house? To find out, we picked a real existing house and dug into its past. 50 families lived at 470 and 472 Hopkins Street on St. Paul's east side across 118 years. Come explore their stories. And we're going to go in depth into this beautiful house, and we are going to learn about every single one of these 50 families. This video is going to be about 3.5 hours long, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. I always like it when they have a map on the floor. Makes it really easy to figure out what's going on. Here is the History Center. That's where we are right now. There's the state capitol building right down there, and then just down the street, that is where this house would have been located. Not too far. And so we're going to step inside to the grand entrance of this house and look at the colorful wallpaper, probably very in style for the time. A wreath on the wall there, 50 families. That's a look at some of the families, I think, that lived here. Beautiful families and couples, husbands and wives, got some kids in there. Lots of people. And then here's a look at the house itself as it stood in the lot. 118 years ago. Well, I don't know, that picture wasn't taken 118 years ago, but that's when it was built. So now we're gonna step into the main room of the house, and look at this. All sorts of artifacts from back in the day. Old desk and chair. Look at the little coffee cup and saucer. Oh my gosh, a little train set and a horse-drawn carriage. Very cool. Wow. Oh, an old piano in the back there. And check this thing out. You're familiar with the slide projector? This is from back in the day. Look at this. You can take these slides right here. There's a whole bunch of them. And you can plug them in here, I think. Just plug it in just like that. And then that's where the light shines through onto this screen. And it has sound effects. Our homeland, Silesia, Germany in the 1860s. Let's just, for fun, try another one here. Number 2, slide. Slide it in there, see what we get. That's the boat they sailed on. Wow. The Bremerhaven in 1864. I believe that's the first resident of this house. We're gonna try just one more, just for fun. I'm having a good time, if nothing else. Let's slide that in. Our home for 25 years, Henderson, Minnesota, 1864 to 88. Papa Albertson, the Sibley County Saloon. Wow, it's just fascinating. Wow, oh. This piano just started playing when I came up to it. Look at that. Oh, Martha Schumacher, one of the first residents, was a concert-quality pianist, leaving Minnesota as a young woman to study for 2 years in Berlin, Germany. Her descendants recall that she was plagued by stage fright, reluctant to play even for family members. Nonetheless, Martha taught lessons at 472 Hopkins Street for several years. Robert Schumann was her favorite composer. And there she is. And then this little desk over here has the first style of Viewmaster. Remember Viewmasters? This is what they had before that, where you could put a picture right there and look at it through these glasses, and then that picture looks 3D when you put it on. And that is right next to something even cooler. An 1897 Sears and Roebuck catalog. Look at this. You could buy a house in one of these catalogs back in the day, and this has absolutely everything. My goodness. Look at this old bike. Wow. Men's apparel of the day. Everything. Oh, look at all these pipes. Lots of men smoked pipes back in the day. You don't see that too much anymore, though. And we're stepping into the next room now, and it says, "Goodbye, Schumachers. Hello, renters." This place was rented out from 1907 to the 1920s. It's now a duplex. And they have some clothes here of the time period hanging on the wall. This is Doris Dahlstrom, 470 Hopkins, 1917, hat maker. Wow. And this jacket belongs to James Doyle, 470 Hopkins, 1908. He was a depot foreman, Northern Pacific Railroad. And that's the jacket he would have worn. And so now we're standing in the kitchen of the home, and from 1924 to 1957, it was converted into a triplex and still being rented out. And look at this stove oven area here. That does not look very modern or convenient. Oh my goodness. Old style fan here. Little kitchen table. This little kitchen kind of reminds me of the Honeymooners for some reason. Wow, they have this cool sausage maker. Showing some fresh sausage coming out. And look at the size of this bread. It says, my mother baked in an earthen oven in the neighborhood. And there's a picture of it right there. Unbelievable. And here's a look at the bedroom. A cute little pig there. And the bed, it says, sit here. Okay, so we're gonna sit down here on this bed right behind me and see what this is all about. I don't know why it's asking me to sit.
I don't know what was wrong with this bed, but every time you turned over, the bed would fall out. I'm not kidding.
The bed just fell.
It was a nice mahogany bed, but it wouldn't stay up where it belonged. And of course, we'd start giggling. We were sleeping, you turned over and the bed went. Dick would get up and fix the bed and go back to sleep. Next morning, I'd hear, oh, having a little fun in the bed last night, huh? From June and her husband.
I guess that's a real story where this bed broke and I just got to experience it live on Tommy Travels the Second. So the idea behind this pig, it says that Dick Crismer paid for family vacations by saving his coins each week. See how much vacation items cost in 1965. And so here are some coins, and then on the back it gives us some prices. $6.95 for a small Coleman cooler, $3.98 for a folding lawn chair. That's the same one. 98 cents for sunscreen, 69 cents for Cool Ray sunglasses. Let's just do a couple more. $20 for a vinyl suitcase and $9.99 for a hotel room. That is not too bad. $2.19 for an air mattress and $1.98 for men's swim trunks. Those are some pretty good prices if you go by today's standards, that's for sure. And it looks like we have stepped outside into the yard where there's a picnic table, some chairs, a hopscotch on the sidewalk here. Does anybody remember playing that game when they were a kid? I don't. I was a boy. I didn't play much of that. And then, look at this. Pin the tail on the donkey. And I did play that. That is for sure. I haven't seen that game in years. Holy cow, that's a blast from the past. And then from 2002 to 2005, there was a Hmong family living here. And so the decor represents that era of when that family was living in this house. And this case shows some pretty cool artifacts. Look, there's a little sword there on the right. And I'm not sure exactly what all of this is, but I believe from that sign over here, it says that it is a shaman altar. Wow, if you are spiritually ill, a doctor would not be able to cure you, but a shaman could. If you had a physical disease, you could go to a doctor. And so this altar right here represents this. It's a shaman altar. You learn something new every day. So what we are entering now is the Somali Museum of Minnesota. Founded in 2011, the Somali Museum of Minnesota, SMM, opened the doors of its public gallery in 2013 as North America's first and only museum devoted to Somali culture. And what we're looking at here, these necklaces and bracelet, this is called amber jewelry. And it says for centuries, amber has been prized for its beauty as well as its medicinal and magical qualities. And they've got all sorts of stuff. There's some ladies wearing Amber jewelry right there. And look, they've even got some Somali money, paper money and coins, stamps. And look, even a passport. Oh my gosh, a passport. And this is a hut, and it is called a Aqual Somali. And here's a picture of some ladies putting one together. They collect the branches and saplings for the frame. They gather palm fronds and grasses to weave the mats and put it all together. And then here's a little look on the inside. Oh, that's pretty cool. They've got some cool little traditional things inside, and look at these rugs. Absolutely amazing. So Somalia's first industry was weaving. They were known throughout Africa and the Middle East for its fine cotton cloth woven on looms, just like this one right here. Wow. And it was purchased by this man right here. Somali Museum of Minnesota director Osman Ali bought this loom, thread, and fabric from a weaver in Mogadishu. And he was pleased to find a loom of this quality for his collection, and the weaver used it to buy a new loom. All worked out for everyone involved. And this hut is called a mudal. It's a permanent house used by families who live on farms and in small towns. And you can see some right here in various stages of being constructed. It's made of branches and poles, then plastering it with mud, animal dung, and ashes. And this is what a whole village of them would look like back in the day. And I like how the walls have the painting in the background to give it the proper effect. Very well done, whoever came up with that idea. Well done indeed. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Tommy Travels the Second. Well, you guys, this has been another successful adventure here today on Tommy Travels the Second at the Minnesota History Museum in St. Paul. And we got to see a tour of a really cool old house from the St. Paul neighborhood, and we got to learn a little bit about Minnesota Somali history. It's been a real blast, and if you guys liked what you saw here today, go ahead and hit like on my YouTube channel. While you're at it, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can be the first to know when a new adventure comes out. And you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for the support that you've given me so far. Thank you very much, and I hope to catch you on the flip side.